A few weeks ago, Dustin Ellerman put out a video that made me absolutely daggum want this product. It's the DryFire trainer. He had it in a couple of different Glocks. And I was sitting there watching the video, and I opened up another tab, and I went over to the DryFire website expecting to only see Glock. No, they saw freaking everything, including my 4-inch Walther PDP. Now you see that little red insert right there. What this is that is the DryFire. This is CO2 powered, and it blocks it up. It's not a barrel, it's a little tank. So check this out. Like, I can't even shoot the camera, right? Full daggum recoil. It feels just like a freaking 9mm. Now when I dry fire at the house, my first couple of minutes of dry fire always feel a little funky. It's like, did I get all of my ammo away? Are my magazines clear? All of that. Well, what is cool about this, we see we've got a loaded round. Let's go ahead and try to put this in here. Boom, it just bullnoses. You know why it just bullnosed? Because there is no chamber. So you cannot screw up and shoot your grandma or your dog, or oh my goodness, my wife's Backstreet Boys collection that she's had forever. You don't have to worry about putting a bullet in anything. So one thing you can't do is you can't take a bullet back. And if you're dry firing with this, you can't even send it. All right, let's get that to focus real good. So what you've got here is a little rubber snubber. And what that does is keeps your firing pin from having to beat on something that would be a dissimilar metal. You know, that firing pin just wants to hit a primer. It doesn't really want to stomp on something that's really, really hard. So you get that little rubber snubber. Now that is expendable. You will have to replace the rubber snubber, but it's better than replacing a firing pin. And also with this extended out, this is how it works. This right here actually has a little ram, and it comes back and pushes the whole slide backwards, and that's where you're getting your movement from. So the gas actually comes in and pushes on that, and of course it goes back home and hides. Now, while I was waiting on this thing to arrive at my house, I was thinking about the benefits. You know, you're looking at a huge savings of money. Ammo is anywhere from like 20 to 60 cents a shot, depending on what you're shooting, where you buy it from, and all that crap. So this right here actually comes out to like 2 pennies every trigger pull. So 2 pennies versus X amount of cents, you know, it's an exponential saving. So what is in the box? Of course, here is our website, coolfiretrainer.com. Let's check this out. Now, one thing I'm definitely going to point out that I like is this little zip-up bag. The little zip-up bag here keeps everything together while you're not using it. So let's say that I decide to take my little PDP to the range and let's go do some live fire. I don't have to have all my stuff jumbled up and falling around. Of course, the first thing I'm going to show you is my little fill adapter. We're using the DrinkMate kit. That right there just screws right onto the top of it. Then you twist this down to actually depress the release there. And then this is what you stick into your dry fire. Now, I chose the DrinkMate option because it just felt like it was more accessible to me and where I'm at. I don't have any friends that do paintball stuff or anything like that, so I can just get this little canister here and exchange it each time. And of course, this is the heart of the kit. You see how this looks pretty much just like your barrel, except your barrel can shoot holes in walls and things like that, and this thing can't. So there's your rear view. Of course, this thing doesn't need a feed ramp because there's no chamber. Now right there in the front is where you fill it. Of course, you get a laser that you could put on the front of here, and that laser, every time that you fire, it just blinks. It's not this constantly on thing. But now with this one, you do have to take it off every time to fill it back up. So every 15 rounds, you'll be untwisting it. But of course, you notice how it's just this really quick on and off. I mean, they've got the threads to where it's not this laborious thing. Now, what I thought was cool is each time you charge this, the little tank inside of it holds about 14 to 15 shots worth of gas. So each time I do that, it's the equivalent of 1 magazine. You know, when I first started playing with this thing, I said, boy, that just runs out fast. And then the more I thought about it, it just makes more sense that it lasts about the same length as a magazine. So now I chose to go with the easy fill. This is a really quick way to do this. Instead of having to take that laser off every time, this right here gives you the laser on the front and a refill. Now this comes with this little tool. What you've got right there is that little adapter. You use that little adapter to unthread. Is getting the bag open going to be the hardest part of this video? So what you do is you use your little included tool, and it goes right there, you got a little spanner inside of it, and there may be a little bit of pressure, so I always do this a little slowly. But there we go, we take that one out. Now this, you have to put this on when it's inside the gun. I'm just doing this for demonstration right now. But you'll twist your little piece in there. Now I opted for the rapid fill adapter because basically you still get your laser and you can just charge right there on the front without having to take the laser off every time. Now what you wind up doing is it actually gives you an extra capacity because that whole front end of that thing is an extended tank. Now they've got another one that looks like a little suppressor and it really extends the life of this thing. But I do like this just for ease of filling. And then of course, since we've already removed our other adapter there for our charging, that's this right here. Then we'll take our easy fill and we'll put this thing in. And then we'll basically look and see where this thing clocks. Let's see how this thing turns itself out. Alright, so you can see we've got like a, what would you say, that's a 2 o'clock. What we want is it for it to be 6 o'clock. Like I said, they give you those shims. You go through your shim care kit here, and then you put that shim and you tighten it down on that, and that's what gets you perfectly lined up with your rail right there. Now the point that I would really like to drive home is this is my actual training belt. This is a really nice belt from AWS that I take with me when I go train with the guys from Muzzle Front. I've got all of my familiar things on here. I've got my tourniquet, there's my holster, got a little boo-boo kit, got some mag pouches right there, pistol in front, rifle in the back, got some molly places here, a little clip to hold my gloves and whatnot. But this is where this comes in. Even with the big extension there, get a little too good retention there. Even with the big extension there on that easy fill, I can still get this in my holster. So it's the same dang holster, the same dang gun. Every time I go from doing my dry fire back to this, it's just apples and apples. There's no changes. Now my kids and their friends have brought some airsoft over to the house, and they've been some very authentic, licensed, legit looking airsoft. But the problem was, the trigger just was not the same. The gun itself had the same ergos and everything was there, but the actual feel of the gun was completely different. Couldn't get the right trigger and all of that. So basically I'm using my own gun. When I take this Coolfire out and put my barrel back in it, it's my same trigger pull, it's my same everything. So I hope you've enjoyed this video of the Coolfire Trainer. This thing right here is going to get a ton of use. You can already see I have already worn quite a bit of the paint off of it because I am using the devil out of this. So far, I've played with this thing in the kitchen. I've played with this thing in my bedroom. I've done all of the things, and like I said, it takes a lot of the worry away from having to actually chamber a live round. That is the one thing that scares me the most about dry fire. I always feel really weird for about the first 2 minutes until I know that everything's empty and I get back into the swing of it. So if you would, smash that thumbs up, leave me an awesome comment. I love awesome comments. I love interacting with you guys in the comment section. It's a great deal of fun with me trying to keep up with the video for the first day or two and interact with you guys. So now if you will, check out the links down below. They're affiliate links. I get a small kickback on all of it. It really is not a lot of money. It's just enough to help put ammo back in the guns, put gas back in the tank, and CO2 in my little Coolfire Trainer. That's all it is, just a little bit to help push the channel a little bit further along. So I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next video. I love you, and I love my little dry fire trainer. You know, I can actually do that because it's safe. Ooh, no harm. That's pretty cool.